Hi everybody, Anna Sabramowitz here from eLearner Engaged, and today I have something a little bit different to share. I had a great conversation this afternoon with somebody who works with Finger Food Studios, and you're thinking, wow, they must be making chicken fingers. No, this place does virtual reality. You should check out their site. It's actually pretty cool. So one of the conversations we were having, one of the streams was that as you and I totally check out the video that they have on their site about the basically air streaming through a virtual semi and you being right there overlaying it. So it's very much a mixed reality type of experience. But one of the things that came up was the idea that in order for a company like Finger Food Studios to be able to visualize data, they need the right kind of data to visualize, right? And there's still a lot of companies out there who don't really measure very much, or they measure the wrong things, or they're not measuring the wrong things. They're measuring sometimes the wrong things, but they're also measuring things that don't really translate well into data visualization strategies. So I feel like if a company wants to get into that world and provide better value for their employees or are thinking about getting into VR, then they should reach out to somebody now just so they could start putting the infrastructures in place to actually gather the data that they need. It'll be custom to them instead of trying to maybe borrow from another place that's doing a better job at gathering that data. And this kind of reminded me of one of those challenges that comes up quite often when I consult, and that is that when you design training, you're designing training that falls into, let's call it the ecosystem, whatever you want to call it, of that person's experience, that person's support for their entire basically career at that place. So training is one part of it. Then there's the performance support and the peer support, the mentorship, the structures that need to be in place for that learning to continue, not die at the training session, and to meet the points of need that somebody is at from when they start to when they're at year 2 and they're already an expert. So those are different needs, those are different people. They are accessing that information or that resource for a different purpose. But what I find a lot of times is that the point of training is very well documented, very well supported through materials, manuals, resources, dedicated classrooms, dedicated people. But the performance aspect of it, the resource areas, the procedures, how much information and the quality of the information that person has access to is very limited. And I find one of the things that is very common is that the information that is provided as a resource is very much, it's either redundant with the stuff that marketing sends out to teach customers, or it's not focused enough to be a just-in-time resource. There's a bunch of stuff and unnecessary language, or the language is not in actionable human speak that helps you basically execute, right? So those are some things that I always find are very, I always ask about what's already there, because it helps me either augment what's already there, because that's what you want to do. You want to have your training kind of integrate into the systems that are already working at that workplace, or realize that there's so many other pieces that still need to be developed. So your training piece is only just a small part, if that's the solution, of you building out other support systems and also getting the buy-in of people who are going to be the support systems, right? So that's just one thing. And I feel like there are some really good procedure manuals out there as far as how to design actionable procedures for people without overwhelming them. There is a process that I was introduced to years ago by a colleague. It was called DITA templates, DITA. And these templates are basically a way to structure your procedures so that the person who comes to that procedure, if they want more info, they know where to find it. If they want to just get down to the nitty-gritty steps, they know where to find it. If there's an update, there are common elements that can be updated across the board. So it's a very cool, kind of complicated, but not once you see the end product kind of process. So I'll link to that in the comments, and I'll also link to Finger Food Studios because you got to check out their stuff. It's pretty awesome. And then I just wanted to make an announcement. Remember I told you I bought some citrus trees. Now they're sitting in my office. I'm spritzing them. I am talking to them. It's fantastic. They smell good because they're blooming. And today, harvest. It's a lime that's the size of a juniper berry and not yet enough to have margarita with. However, it's a start. So I just wanted to share that with you. It's probably just a dropping to save more energy from the plant for the other limes that are going to be real size, right? Well, it's Victoria Day weekend this weekend, and I'm going to have a long weekend. Maybe I'll catch a flick or something. And I hope you also have a wonderful weekend as I'm signing off, and talk to you later, friend. Bye.